morning, everybody. What's up? So, ate breakfast. Kids are halfway asleep still, so I decided to just jump to the office and make a video. Of course, you just heard my daughter coughing, so she's going to be waking up soon. But anyways, I wanted to make a comparison video, but then I decided, nah, there's a couple of them out there. You guys have those comparison videos to look at. What I'm going to do is tell you guys about my experiences between both the G6 Play and the E4 Plus. And really just to tell anyone out there, because I get the question, you know, is the G6 Play worth getting over the E4 Plus? Or if you already own an E4 Plus, is it worth it to get the G6 Play? And, you know, to be honest with you guys, if you own an E4 Plus and you're going to go and try to get the G6 Play, you're not missing anything major. Unless you want something that's just, you know, all glass back and front, plastic sides, 18:9 aspect ratio, you're not really missing much, okay? There's not a significant change between 7.1 Nougat and 8.0 Oreo. There's not. Nothing noticeably different, nothing majorly revamped. Oreo just has a few things that's built into it that Nougat doesn't have. But it's not something that's going to ruin the experience of Android for you guys. It's not going to ruin any of that stuff because it's just a minor incremental update from Nougat. That's all it really is. If you have the E4 Plus and you're loving that battery with 5,000 milliamp battery, making it through a day and a half, sometimes 2 days of charge, depending on how you use your phone, it's going to basically not be the greatest if you switch over to the G6 Play, only because it has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Now, it will get you through a whole day, not a problem. I've tried every way to see if I can kill this battery. And I think the quickest I was able to kill it was 16 hours. That's like the quickest I could kill it. And that's pretty much like the day that you're out and about. I mean, 16 hours of the day, you know, that's pretty good. Because considering a whole day is 24 hours, right? So you're not really losing a whole lot there. I mean, you should be getting 8 hours of sleep. So if you're not getting 8 hours of sleep, you're not getting enough rest for the next day. And in that time, because the G6 Play has turbocharging, allows you to actually charge the phone faster. Now, there's ways you can get the turbocharger brick. You can buy one from Motorola's website, or if you own a device that is a Moto device that already has turbocharging, like, you know, the X4 has turbocharging, you can just use its turbocharging brick to rapidly charge your device. If you have a, you know, power bank that has the Quick Charge 3.0, that will turbocharge your device. So you have a way of turbocharging the device when you're sleeping. The Moto E4 Plus does not have turbocharging. So that's another difference I wanted to point out. Also, confusion. So the glass back on this device is purely aesthetic. It's an aesthetic for looks. Okay, this does not have NFC, much less does it support wireless charging. Unless I'm wrong, but I put this on my wireless Qi charger. I have a power bank that doubles up as a wireless charging. So placed it on top of it and nothing happened. So I don't know exactly if there was like a major purpose for it being glass or if it's just for aesthetic look, but I call it as aesthetic look and not, you know, for like tap to pay or anything like that, because there's no NFC. I dropped down the notification and there's not a toggle for NFC at all whatsoever. So whoever decided to message me and tell me that it has NFC, I don't know. Mine doesn't. So I call it as I see it. So this is all for aesthetic looks. Now, the E4 Plus does have wireless charging. From what I know, you can set this on a wireless charging pad and actually charge it. And I'm assuming that's why there's these metal connectors all around it. When you pop the back off the E4 Plus, it has all these little pins that stick out. And all those pins surround the battery. And I'm assuming it's because of the fact that this does support wireless charging. Now, this doesn't have fast wireless charging, but it supports wireless charging nonetheless. The cameras between the two are really similar. You're not really missing anything major. I mean, obviously, I would shoot Motorola if they didn't have slight updates from the E4 Plus as far as camera quality. So the cameras on the G6 Play do very good. I love the cameras on it. And it's not going to beat out your flagship devices like the Galaxy S9. Stop wishing for those types of things, or just go buy a Galaxy S9. But what it will take is it will take clear, decent photos. Color representation is fine, and on top of that, you'll see some slight sharpness to it, but nothing else very majorly different. Video recording is actually pretty good with the G6 Play. It's almost similar to the E4 Plus. Again, the images in your video will be slightly sharper, and the colors are a little bit enriched, and the exposure is fine. It's not overly great, but it's fine. I say it like that because, to me personally, the cameras I think are amazing. I like the way that you can take photos and stuff, but with people being very, critical about stuff, they'll be like, oh, the pictures is garbage, the Galaxy S9 produces better pictures. It's like, the Galaxy S9 is a flagship. It better produce good pictures. Otherwise, what's the reason of spending $700, $800, $900 on a phone that's going to produce crappy photos, right? But the G6 Play produces pretty good photos, but it's not a major step up from the E4 Plus. So if you're rocking an E4 Plus, you're not losing anything. That's my whole point behind this. Performance-wise, to me, the E4 Plus does better than the G6 Play at times. And I'm thinking this because the G6 Play is glass. I live in a state that has triple digits in the summertime, and I think the coolest that we ever get down to is like maybe 50s, but that's not until like January, like late December, early January. So throughout the rest of the year, it's above 90 degrees. Then around this time of the year, it's above 100. So with that being said, a glass device, heat is going to transfer through easily, which is also going to mess with the circuitry. And obviously that is going to mess with performance. Because as I stated, this phone does glitch out on me at times, but it does it when I'm outside, which is something I've noticed recently. Indoors, when I'm in my home with the AC running on and the house temperature is about 71 degrees, it does fine. I don't have any issues at all with it, glitching out, apps running rogue, running, just crazy. It doesn't do that. It's only when I take it out in the heat, which is a problem for me because I live in a state that's hot. So weather obviously is going to impact the way the device performs for me. But for others out there that live in, much cooler states, they're not reporting the same things I'm reporting. I haven't heard anyone else, I haven't heard Dramatic Warfare really go out there and say, it's running super crappy all the time. He has mentioned that he's had some issues with the phone in my comments and on Instagram, but he hasn't really mentioned anything that's like it's a permanently all the time type thing. And for me, what I've noticed similar things that he's mentioned, but at the same time too, it's stuff that I've seen that is not, it only really impacts me when it's hot. So in a cooler temperature, cooler place, the phone doesn't really bug out on me at all whatsoever. The issue with the front-facing camera, what happened when I went 4x zoom, and I messed around with the camera again, I zoomed in on things. That happens rarely. I've redone the same image and it's done the same thing in 4x zoom, but it's not something that's going to happen all the time. So if you're not really zooming in on photos all the time, you'll get decent shots with the cameras. Last thing I want to talk about is the audio quality between these two. This is where it actually differs. The G6 Play has better audio quality coming out of it, and obviously, yes, it has the Dolby equalizer, but then on top of that, it's a lot louder. You hear things more with it. Like, I keep the volume on this phone at 89% because I'm afraid to blow out the speaker on it. With the E4 Plus, you can hear things at 100% max volume, but it still sounds a bit muffled at times. So the audio quality, I would give it to the G6 Play, basically. But, hold on, my son's here. Come inside. Come here.
Yes.
Go sit on the couch. I'll be right there. Sit down. Yeah. So anyways, my son stopped by, so he's like chilling right now with me in here. But to pretty much give you my final thoughts, between both phones, there's not really major differences, okay? The differences are body build, which you have plastic and slight metal on one, you have glass on the other with plastic. The battery size. So if you do upgrade from the Moto E4 Plus to the Moto G6 Play, you are losing 1,000 milliamps because the E4 Plus has 5,000 milliamp hour battery, the G6 Play has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. So battery life will differ. And then, yeah, basically that's just really the differences between the two that you will notice. Other than that, performance-wise, they're about the same. Camera qualities are about the same. Video quality is about the same. Audio is where it really kind of differs, though. The Moto G6 Play being louder than the Moto E4 Plus. And, yeah, and then, of course, the operating system. 8.0 Oreo on the G6 Play, 7.1 Nougat on the E4 Plus. But other than that, I mean, between the two different versions of Android, there's not really significant major differences between 7.1 and 8.0. So, again, is it worth you spending your money to go get the Moto G6 Play for the Moto E4 Plus? No, because you're not getting a really major update. But if you have the money and you decide you want to go get the G6 Play just because you want to own the G6 Play, hey, more power to you. Just because I'm saying it's not a major update from the E4 Plus doesn't mean you shouldn't go get it. Do what you want to do. That's my whole like major advice for anyone out there picking smartphones, buying smartphones. Do what makes you happy. If you're happy going to spend money to get the G6 Play, then go get it. Who cares what anyone else says to you about it? If you're like, well, I can save my money for something else better, and I'll still rock my Moto E4 Plus, then rock the Moto E4 Plus. There's nothing wrong with this phone. This phone is not obsolete, not dead. It's still worth every penny that you spent on it. And then the differences between the two is very minor, nothing, very marginal, and you heard it from me. So that's it for right now. We're going to go jam out and enjoy the rest of my day. And you guys should too. So we're out of here. Aloha.